Hello, this is Dr. Darnise. Welcome back into my House of Religion, Magic, and Conjure. Welcome in to today's episode, which is about the Matrix. Are we living in a Matrix? Are we living in a simulation? Or is this real life? What is the nature of reality? What is the nature of our experience as human beings? Really, as spiritual beings having a human experience. And so that's what I want to talk about today. So this is, as I said, we're going to do some teachings that are further down the rabbit hole. And I was previously complaining that I didn't see enough Black people talking about these things. And so I realized that I'm going to be one of them. And so as I talk about these things, one thing you might, because it's hard to wrap your mind around certain of these metaphysical ideas. But if you've seen the movie The Matrix, you can kind of keep that in mind as I talk through these ideas. And one thing that I've been thinking about doing is watching The Matrix, and then I would do a live and come on here and we'd have some live conversation about The Matrix, the film The Matrix, and what it can offer us for such a time as this that we're living in, to help us see like what's really going on. To what extent is this real life, or is there really something going on behind the scenes? And so, just like I did a few months ago with Eve's Bayou, where we watched the film and then we came back on here and I did a live conversation. So if you would like to do that kind of thing with The Matrix, just put in the comments that yes, you're interested in watching The Matrix and having a conversation. So, on the surface level, of course, we can talk about various conspiracy theories about, what's going on the surface level of reality, and then what are the people in power really doing behind the scenes, and how are they trying to manipulate us or whatever. And that's one level for sure. But what I'm getting at is there a larger spiritual quantum reality to which some of us are just awakening? And of course, I'm going to say yes to that, right? Is there? Yes. Because we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So the human experience is a finite one. Even if we reincarnate multiple times, the human experience is a finite one, but our spiritual essence is eternal, right? We are spiritual in our essence. We are emanations of the divine creator itself. So we are having these experiences, but then the question arises, why? What is the point of it, right? Especially considering how challenging human life can be. So what's the purpose of this, right? Is God, like I always say God, in her jokes, like, what are we doing? Is God asleep and we're just in her dream? Is this entertainment for God? God is watching us like a reality show, getting laughs and giggles. I mean, what is the deal? So I'm going to present some ideas, and you can, put your thoughts in the comments and what you think. But, from the various spiritual lessons that I read and different people who I follow, my own mentorship, what I've come to understand is that the main point of life is to awaken to the spiritual truth that we are spiritual, having a human experience. That is the meaning of life. That is the big secret, so to speak. We are spiritual, having a finite human experience, and it's almost like it's a game to see if we can awaken within the dream. Can you wake up to the fact that you're spiritual while you're having a human lifetime that is full of challenges and very dense, complicated, sometimes painful experiences? Let's see. Now, if you watch that video that I made about the nature of God and this story about Job, right, from the book of Job in the Bible, and God and Satan having this conversation in the very beginning of the book of Job, and, it's basically a bet. So maybe it's something like that going on where God says, and not, making that literal in any way, but sort of figuratively, God deciding, if you will, to have an experience or a set of experiences whereby the game is, let's go into this physical realm, this very dense physical realm, and see if we can wake up again. It's the game. So it's like, I know, let's see if we make it hard. Let's see if we make it harder. Oh, I know. Let's see if we cause a forgetting so that people really don't even remember. When they're born into a human experience, they don't even remember. Right? It's called the veil of forgetting, right? Maybe you've heard that term in spiritual circles. The veil of forgetting, which is so that the game can be fun from that divine perspective. The game can't really be fun if you really know what the game is right from jump. So the game is, let's see if we can make this really challenging and therefore fun, and see how long does it take for the humans within the human experience to wake up. So that's the game, y'all. That's what we're doing. So more and more people are waking up, though, because we are shifting from third density reality into a fourth density. We really are already in that shift. And so you can tell that we're in it because of all the strife that we're having right now. Third density energy is essentially dying out in a way. And by density, I mean the amount of light. If we think again about quantum, a quantum reality, a quantum field, and light, right? How much light as opposed to how much dense material there is in our world. And so fourth density is lighter. There is more light, more divine light, if you will. And so certain things just can't go on in fourth density, right? And then it's a higher vibration. It's simply a higher vibration. And things that are in lower vibration cannot exist there. So what we're seeing in our world today is so much of the fighting for power and control, because those who remain in power in the third density, of course they want to maintain power and money. Of course they do. But there's something happening. There's this shift happening where really more and more people are waking up to we're spiritual, having a human experience, and really the name of the game is free will as opposed to living under authoritarian power. Authoritarian dominating power. In the fourth density, you get less of that, right? More of individual free will, where we're not trying to tell everybody how to live. So, I wanted to, present to you what might be the nature of the Matrix. Remember the movie, we've got Neo, right? The young man played by Keanu Reeves, who has the opportunity to wake up, to come to know what's up. Morpheus shows up, and he's played by Lawrence Fishburne, and he's got the two pills, the red pill and the blue pill. Which one will you take? You can take one and stay asleep, like this moment never happened, right? And then you can take the other one and wake up. And once you do wake up, you will see. You will see that there are others who are keeping most of the population asleep. You will come to know that we have to fight for our awakening, for collective awakening. We've got to fight for it. We've got to struggle for it, because the forces that would keep us under authoritarian power are not going to willingly give that up. And to be awakened means that you can't go back to sleep, or you can't unknow this. And so, of course, in the movie, it's dramatized in various ways, and it's really good, film. So I hope that y'all will want to join me in watching The Matrix, because I'm going to watch it again because of a lot of the things that I'm thinking about on a metaphysical and quantum level. Something else I wanted to say, too, about this. As far as like in the Matrix, like you've got the red pill option and the blue pill option. You could also think of those as ego-bound life, lower consciousness, lower vibration, ego-bound life, or higher vibration, conscious awareness, living life consciously. Y'all know I used to teach a program called Living Life Consciously. If you don't know, I'm also a life coach. and I do some online courses and individual coaching with people. So I did this a long time ago, living life consciously. And what I meant by that is, are you asleep at the wheel of your own life, just going through the motions? Or are you waking up to, at least consciously and with intention, set the stage for your own life, right? Just with intention. And so you could think of our human experience as being largely dominated by the ego mind, right? The ego mind and lower vibration, fear and worry, anxiety. Basically, it loves fear and divisiveness, right? Like how most people are living now in America, well, in the world, really. And the more conscious awareness where you realize that you don't have to be afraid of everything that's not like you. You don't have to meet everything unfamiliar to you via fear, right? Sometimes I just wonder, like, why are people so afraid of everything they don't know? In some ways, the ego tells on itself, right? Because it's the ego that says, oh, you don't know them? Be afraid. You don't like how they're living? Be afraid. They're trying to take over. You don't like those people of that religion? You don't like the people who are changing their gender? You don't like the people who, have a same-sex partner? You don't like the people who, name it. Like, why are people so obsessed with what other people are doing to the point of fear? I always say, let people live. You don't have to like it, really. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it, but let people live. Okay? And so from a high vibrational point of view, none of us is in a position to authoritatively tell somebody else how to live or what choices they should make. It's a lower vibration ego mind that says, I have to be in control, or I have to know what everybody is doing. I have to set the rules, and everybody has to do it my way. Now, and it'll say that, right? But nobody wants to live under that. Nobody wants anybody else telling them who to live with, who you can't live with, where you can go, when you can go. We just came through this whole period. Well, we're not even through it, right? The last year and a half. And people are mad. They don't want to have to wear this. They don't want to have to take this shot. Like the whole thing, right? And yet, our ego mind says, yeah, but I can tell tell other people. Nobody can tell me, but I can tell other people. Right away, the ego mind gives itself away because it incites fear and divisiveness. Whereas a more higher vibrational, conscious awareness will say, I don't have to control others. You're good. Anyway, we all come from the one source. And so we are each other, really. We really are the same. We really are. We come from the same source. Now, people act kind of crazy, right? People act any way they want to act, but we come from the same source. Maybe some people don't like the sound of that, like, no, I can't come from the same place as those people. But we're all emanations from the one creator. And we're all playing this game that the creator out. Everybody has their role because the creator is really having a certain experience that the creator wants to have. Call it a reality show or a play or a joke or dream, whatever you want to call it, but it's all an emanation from the creator who said, wow, let me have this experience and I'll make it look like I'm a whole lot of different people. Okay, so I hope y'all still with me. I know this can be, again, hard to wrap your mind around if you haven't thought of these things, but I said, further down the rabbit hole, into the metaphysics, into the quantum reality, where things are not linear necessarily. Things do not fit into boxes neatly. We're awakening in the sense that we're coming to be more comfortable with the idea that things don't have to fit neatly into boxes. In fact, there don't need to be boxes at all. What about that? I was reading, so if the idea of the quantum, world is new for you, I was reading something that gave an analogy about life in the quantum, in a quantum reality. I mean, we are in a quantum reality. It's just that we don't really recognize it. we have a certain stability to our life experience. But if we did not have this particular stability so that we can have this sort of ongoing narrative, this sort of linear, this comes after this, comes after this, and then this happened, and then that happened in this linear fashion, because really in the quantum world, all is now. Everything is happening at the same time. But anyway, I'm trying to think who gave me this analogy, or I read it somewhere, I guess. In the quantum world, where things are not linear, they don't stay within boxes, they don't stay neatly within a particular space. Consider this. Let's say you leave your house every day, right? Going to work or wherever you're going. You leave your house, and when you come back home, you open the door, and all of your furniture is moved around. Nothing is where you left it. Right. Think about that, right? And so it would freak us out. Because now you come in, what are you going to do? You're going to move your furniture back again? Because guess what's going to happen the next day? The next day you're going to leave, you're going to come back, and all the furniture is all around, moved around again. That's the quantum world. Things are not things don't really have a stability. Things can just be, time is fluid. Things can move around in ways that are non-linear. So part of the awakening is recognizing that there's a non-linear way of being. Anyway, I think I've given you all enough now for this one. Again, let me know in the comments if you want to watch The Matrix and then have some conversation or whatever things that you would like to talk about in terms of quantum field and the larger metaphysics. I'm all about that. So let me know. And again, thanks for hanging in. Bye for now.